But
Yes.
let's move on to, I believe you have most improved player next. And
Yep.
I'll go first. None of y'all gonna know this. None of y'all gonna be seeing this coming. But I'm telling you, Daniel Gafford, Mr. Gaffy Taffy, is going to win the most improved player award. Now, let me tell you why, right? When he's played so far, I believe he's gotten at least 2 blocks or more in each preseason game he's played. And he's been playing limited minutes, so only like 20 minutes a game or so. If you extend out to 36, like if he plays full starter minutes, this man is gonna put up some really stupid numbers. And he also puts up double-digit points and rebounds almost every game. Plays with so much energy. He's a monster defensively, and I think he's the biggest underdog that could legitimately win this award, in my opinion. I think Daniel Gafford is going to get it. And if he's not going to get it, he's at least going to be top 3 in consideration. There's no way. But this also depends on him staying healthy. So I do want to preface it with that. Who do you got as your most improved player? This is one of the hardest awards to predict, bar none. Okay. You'll almost never be able to guess. But it's going to be Daniel Gafford. Go ahead.
The bias is hitting you pretty hard. But
it's not biased. I gave you the stats. It's not biased.
My pick is not going to be Daniel Gafford. I've got two up.
So your pick is wrong. Go ahead.
So basically, Bert, it's not going to be Daniel Gafford. I think for my most improved player, I think it's going to be either between Michael Porter Jr. or Jordan Poole. And the main reasons for those two getting it, right? This is really hard to predict, but I think one of the main reasons for those two is mostly because of their other stars that are out recovering. And Jordan Poole's been getting a lot more minutes as of late, and we've been seeing him in the preseason, one of the most exciting players that we've seen so far, like dropping 20 plus. I mean, if he can keep this up, he's got some crazy contention. I mean, he'll definitely be like a front runner up there. And even with Michael Porter Jr. as well, now he's going to get a lot more touches with Jamal Murray out. And after that offseason, now Mike Malone can sort of reconstruct the offense so that now you can have a Jokic and Michael Porter Jr.'s tandem kind of style offense instead of like the Jokic and Murray style. Because a lot of the complaints that Nuggets fans have been giving about Coach Mike Malone was that he doesn't really let certain players get as many touches or minutes as they should. And Michael Porter Jr. was definitely one of those. There are just some times where I watch some Nuggets games. I'm just like, wait, why is he not getting the ball as much as he should? Right. And I think that now with Jamal Murray, like, I don't know if he's going to be coming back until, I guess, the playoffs this season. I'm not too sure when he'll be back.
There's no timetable, but if I had to guess just off myself, I'd probably say he returns at like the start of the new year or maybe post All-Star break. Something like that.
Yeah, we'll see how it is, but that's enough time for Michael Porter Jr. to really elevate his game. Right now that he signed that crazy max extension, now it's time for him to really be able to showcase that. And again, right, that contract is like $172 million, but if he gets up there in like that all NBA's like stuff, whatever, he can be eligible for another $30 million, right? And now he's got more motivation to secure some additional bag for that. And that's going to be another reason why I think Michael Porter Jr. will really elevate his game, especially after this contract. One of the most talented players of that draft class. Crazy how he fell that short. I mean, of course, with injury and all, but like now he has that time to shine. One really talented shooter. And especially when he gets those touches, man, and when you leave him open, it's a really bad mistake to be making. This guy, he just needs to get more touches, and I think that's what's going to elevate him this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my only concern is his defense still isn't great.
True.
And Coach Malone might pull him a little bit because of that at times. I'm not exactly sure, when Jamal Murray's going to come back or how that affects what Michael Porter Jr. is going to end up doing. But at the same time, yeah, you're right. He does have there is a big vacancy in terms of uh, shot attempts right now that Jamal Murray has left in the void. And so if Michael Porter Jr. steps up and takes him, he could definitely be in contention to win it. Plus, he's got a big name. Media would love him. That's the only thing it's the only thing that sucks about Daniel Gafford is that I don't know if the media is really going to be talking about him like that. But I do see a lot more fans talking about him, even from other franchises, talking about Daniel Gafford actually making a big impact.
I mean, the Wizards are definitely going to get a lot more attention this year, right? Especially with the moves they made this offseason.
I don't know about that because we don't have Russell Westbrook anymore, and he was like the biggest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, he's a media cow. Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. I think he's a really solid option. He could be top 3. Also, some of the guys we mentioned in the 6th man of the year could also end up being involved, right? We mentioned Jordan Poole, we mentioned Tyler Hero. They could end up being here as well.
That's honestly totally fair. Yeah, I could see Tyler Hero getting that as well. He'll definitely be up there. Yeah, but I mean, something I also want to add about Michael Porter Jr. as well. Another reason I'm sort of basing it off is just seeing his performance after Jamal Murray went down, and to see Jokic be able to retain that seeding in the Western Conference even after Murray went down. I mean, of course, he wasn't able to really retain it so far into the playoffs because the game slows down, and they're able to kind of break down that defense a bit more, right? But seeing Michael Porter Jr., especially after Jamal Murray went down, to see how much more he's been able to score, I think that's gonna translate into the next season and just go up from here.
Yeah. Look, doesn't matter because Daniel Gafford's gonna win it. I'm telling you, he's the biggest sleeper of the season. Nobody's talking about him, but I seriously think he's going to be really, really good. And I think he has a chance to make all defense because I think he's going to be top 3 or top 5 in blocks per game. I think he's going to be one of the block leaders in the league. He has great instincts for it, and he's a great defender. So don't sleep on Daniel Gafford. You know what? If you got one thing to just stamp my name on, is that Daniel Gafford will be in the conversation for MIP. That's
all right. We can bet on something about this later.
Okay. You wait and see.
I'll keep that in mind.
Look, one more person for most improved player of the year. Do not be surprised if Alexei Pokusevski goes crazy. I know I kind of made a video on him midway through his rookie year where I was like, man, he was really bad. And to be fair, he was really bad. He was shooting like 20% from the field and like 14% from 3. It was really, really bad. But he really stepped up in that second half of the year. He's been really solid in preseason. Don't be surprised if Pokusevski puts himself in the conversation. He plays for the Thunder. Don't be surprised if he's in the conversation because he could take a big jump this year. Yeah, that's kind of all I got to